Call the regular city council meeting to order. Tuesday, May 28th at 7 p.m. in city council chambers. We'll start with pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of
America, the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, liberty, and justice for all.
Alderman Clark. Here. Alderman Roll. Alderman Johnson. Alderman Montoya.
Here.
Alderman Reyes. Here. Alderman Fairwell.
Here.
Alderman McGee.
Forum. Reads, it says the minutes here. I know Alderman Fairwell sent over some issues that need to review it. I'm good with all of them. You're good with the reading. So I'd like to propose a motion for all three of these at once. Is there a motion? Alderman Fairwell and Alderman Carr on the question. Not for the roll call.
Alderman Clark.
Aye.
Alderman Montoya. Alderman Reyes. Alderman Fairwell.
Aye.
Alderman McGee.
Aye. Carries. Public comment? Is there any public comment?
Your Honor, City Council meeting, good evening. And I hope this past weekend you had a safe, blessed Memorial Day weekend. I did that. I just went to 3 different cemeteries, 4 or 5 different memorial services. Saturday, Your Honor, the mayor was at our Hispanic, our Latin American Advisory Committee ceremony. Thanks for coming, Mayor. And I was talking to this lady here. We were discussing about all the banners on Western Avenue. I'm up there, my son's up there. And I'm glad the city's doing that to recognize our veterans. And I know when I fly sometimes, I travel a lot, people will tell me, hey, sir, you're a hero, or sir, my country. No. The real heroes, my friends, never come back. They came back from coffins. Those are the real heroes. They gave the ultimate sacrifice for the country. And we forget. You know, freedom's not free. It's not. Look at all the people who killed Normandy, 10,000. Iwo Jima, 8,000. We have to recognize that. And I live at 13427 Mozart Street. My name is Thomas Madrigal. And I'm here to listen to some of my concerns and grievances in my area there. Again, I always say this over and over that the corner store here ought to go on Broadway in California. Saturday, especially Sunday, cars are always parked in the corner there. I mean, they just, matter of fact, they back up in the traffic. That's dangerous. I call up the 911, tell them, hey, have police will come out here more or less. And that's as Hyro knows, it's a dangerous area, spot. And also to the on Broadway Street, on Vine Street, there's this, I guess the water department a while back did some digging, and I wonder when they're gonna repave that area right there, because I guess what they call it, they fell down and so forth. And the other day I saw a guy running over the whatever the horse, what they call it, the block where the area's got to be, whatever, blacktop. So that's my concerns. Thank you for listening to me. God bless you guys.
Any other public comments?
Good evening, Mayor, and also to our city council members. And also, it was a pleasure meeting you, Mr. Thomas. Yes. Just wanted to let you know, from Mission Covenant Church, you will be receiving in your email our calendar for the year. And so we're coming up with June 16th for our Father's Day service and also dinner. And then June 23rd, we have our motorcycle blessing parade and our cookout. And then on June 30th, we're going to be having our friends and family service. So we'd like to invite you out anytime you'd like to participate with us. And we'd be very grateful and very honored for you to be there. Thank you.
Any public comment? Any public comment? Moving on, we have other. All right.
Good evening, everyone. Alan Stevo. Alan Stevo. Good evening. It's been quite a while, but I've been coming up here for over 45 years studying our government. And someone reminded me today that someone was talking to his mother, and he was aligned with John Rita. And he was questioning, why does Mr. Stevo have to come up here and ask questions all the time? Well, the elderly lady, she was in her 90s. She lived on Walnut Street. And she explained to him how important it is for our government to have people like Alan Stevo come up here and ask questions. She explained to her son, and her son understood. At the agenda tonight, we're going to ask you to explain this in its entirety so the taxpayer and the residents know. Ordinance number E. Ordinance number F. Ordinance number G. Ordinance number H. Ordinance number I. Ordinance number J. Ordinance number K. Ordinance, motion number I. How much is the fence going to cost us under I? Should be put down there. Ordinance number M. Now, ordinance number M is interesting because Zillow estimates that it's worth $234,000. And how much money has the city lost in tax revenue? And can you please explain to us tonight how much this Mr. Christ Zacharias will be paying for the property? And also ordinance number N. You explain that to us. Now, the May 14th meeting was canceled. Can you explain to us why it was canceled, the council meeting? Why was it canceled? Now, you're trying to get us back, since you're a historian, you're trying to get us back, Mayor, to the way we used to do business, with the parade and all. Well, how they used to do this, they would convene a meeting. And if they didn't have a quorum, then they would cancel the meeting. That's how they would do it. So since you're a historian, maybe you might want to go back to that same procedure. And also, since you want to go back to the same procedure, since we're going to have a treasury report tonight, can you please make the reports available at the back table like it used to be made available? And treasurer, what are your hours? What days do you work? What hours do you come into work? Can you tell us that? No comment? No, huh? Any questions for Alan Stevo? I'm opening up for questions. Any questions with me? It's real important that our hospital be open as a functioning hospital. It's real important. It's important for the future of our community that we have that hospital. I'm asking for the city council to work to open up the hospital as a full functioning hospital. And I'm asking the city attorney to work to do that, to do your job, what people are asking. I'm asking you to do that. And does anyone know whatever happened to the $5 million that was offered to Blue Island? Whatever happened to that $5 million? Who got it? Where'd it go? The question is, who got the $5 million? Thank you. This has been on Steve. Thank you.
Any other public comment? Moving on, number 8, we have a motion for 3 payrolls here. Unless there's an objection, I'll do a motion to approve A, B, and C. Motion. All in fairness, all in B on the question. Clerk, please do the roll call.
Carr,
Aye.
Alderman Johnson,
Aye.
Alderman Montoya, Alderman Rita. Aye. Alderman Fairwell.
Aye.
Alderman McGee.
Aye. Carries. D, motion for approval of accounts payable dated May 10th, $1,018,620.04, and dated May 29th, $1,272,569.85. Is there a motion? Alderman Montoya, second by Alderman Carr on the question. Clerk, please do the roll.
Alderman Carr,
Aye.
Alderman Johnson,
Aye.
Alderman Montoya.
Aye.
Alderman Rita. Aye. Alderman Fairwell,
Aye.
Alderman McGee.
Aye.
Carries under E. E, F, and G are all in regards to the uptown district two. Under E, we have ordinance, the city of Blue Island, Illinois adopting the Western Avenue redevelopment project area plan and program. Is there a motion? Motion by Alderman Montoya, is there a second? Carr on the question, Alderman Fairwell.
I'd actually like to move the table and, discuss my,
Is there a motion to table? Is there a second? Alderman McGee. So the motion will be, yes to table, no to not table. So we're going to hold on the motion to table first. Motion was made, seconded, so roll call to table.
Alderman Carr. No. Alderman Johnson,
aye.
Alderman Montoya.
No.
Alderman Rita. No. Alderman Fairwell,
Aye.
and Alderman McGee.
Aye.
So 3 yeses, 3 noes. Tiebreaker.
Questions we can discuss now, this is under a time limit.
Yeah, no, here's my concern and what I'd like to have, and I'd be glad to vote on this at the next meeting. I had some correspondence with Mark about it. I would like to see some projections about the cost of the, I don't know how to put it, it's not lost revenue because the various taxing bodies will continue to get the same amount of revenue as they're getting today, but they will not receive any increases. Those increases will go into the tip
Or
over time
decreases.
or decreases.
Doesn't, unless pretty much someone builds something there,
Right.
nothing's gonna change.
So my particular concern is about school districts, and I'd like to see, some projections about what the implications are for that. I recognize the school districts have voted, have agreed to it. I personally am concerned because, to me, our schools are, or the reputation, deserved or not, is a big reason why we do not have, greater influx of new people moving to Blue Island, especially with families. And I feel that the schools need all the resources that they can get, so we have the best schools we can possibly have. It's important also, certainly, to have economic development. So I'm not opposed to this. I just would like to have more information before I make the vote.
It's a tied table or not, I'd like to make a motion table, I just want to verify it's not the screw big time for us. The other thing is, Alderman, I saw your comment, other than making phony numbers, we don't know if someone's going to build a building in 6 months, 2 years, or 5 years. How will we project it? It's going to increase.
Well, maybe, correct me if I'm wrong, as next year or the years go along and property tax assessments go up and so forth and so on, those increases are what go into the tip. Is that
Only if
correct?
there's increase in property value, but they've gone.
Right, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
okay, so, I
I
mean,
mean, the school, at the end of the day, school district's not losing anything they're collecting.
I understand that, I get it, but they would lose, it's true and it's not, because they would say they're getting $100 today, and 3 years from now, they're gonna get $100. Well, the $100 is worth less 3 years from now than it is today, so they're losing on inflation. And they're also, not gaining the revenue that they would have gained. So they're really falling behind in that regard, and that's my concern about this.
So I guess during the meetings with the school districts, they overwhelmingly agree because
I
they know
understand.
their part. So I don't know where we would get. I hate to put projections out there because then if they don't follow projections of us making stuff up for the following 30 years, what if someone holds us numbers we made up?
Well, I'm not asking for projections that would be legally binding. I'm just, if you projected that property taxes are gonna go up at a 2% annual rate or whatever it is, I just would kind of like to see how that plays out.
Alderman Johnson, any questions? I hear his hand.
Yes, sir. Chief, what kind of timeline are we looking at?
I'm trying to confirm that right now. It was my understanding that this is time sensitive. So if we want to move past these ordinances and come back to them, we should have.
It's been it's about a year and a half process that we've gone through, and each one is a timeline you have to hit. So we have to do it in a certain amount of time, otherwise it starts everything over again.
Okay.
So we can come back to these.
I just wanted to also comment, about the tip that how it helped my area as well as my schools and help build bigger facilities, got more training and things for people who were, let's say Latino, to make them more bilingual, make things more understanding for them. Also, it also helped us, with the infrastructure, in order to build new homes down there.
Sure.
Which also brought up our property values and also, was a plus for the school systems as well as the neighborhood.
No, I understand the benefits, and I'm just trying to see, just in particular, the schools, there was money that came to the schools for training or something, you said, or via the tip.
Yeah, they actually, was able to bring in more classes and things in order to help people who were struggling. And they had like, special classes for kids with IEPs and things of that.
Okay.
To, try to help them, comprehend or feel better in the school system. So there was some things that were spent that were, like I said, it helped my area, because Blue Island is so uniquely made. We have to start looking at the populations of our area. How is it beneficial to them? Just like with, Upper Blue Island, people really want to come to Blue Island. One, the crime is not as high as Chicago, but also the classrooms are a lot smaller, to where the kids can get educated.
All agree?
Could you just reiterate the positives for this tip?
All right, so the city has 4 or 5 active tips. We're gonna renumber it because it sounds like we have 8, we don't, like 4 or 5, because some expired. Since then, they haven't reused those numbers. So what a tip does, it takes, as Alderman was saying, if there's increases for development, let's say 123rd Western City builds a store of some type. That increase is going to be directed into the tip, to put back into the tip for economic development or business incentives. Some benefits the city has done before is rebuild the bridges that was used out of tip funds. Old Western Avenue streetscaping is something that's going on right now. Economic incentives, we just scratched the surface on doing that. But using the bridges for once, we don't have abandoned bridges sitting out there. That was all paid out of tip funds. And Old Western has spurred a huge amount of economic development in that, because the city was putting money in, so it then got people to redevelop their properties almost immediately. And because of that, because now we have we have occupancy down there, the value of the property is going to go up. So then more increased revenues, so everybody benefits, including the school districts. So that's a nutshell. No one loses any revenue. It's only for projected increases if someone actually develops new stuff that doesn't already exist. So for example, I think it's tip 2 or 3, which is the 119th Vincennes area. That tip's been around 20 years. I think it only generated 30,000 in 10 years because nothing's been developed. So it doesn't affect anything.
I want to make sure I understand correctly then. So, as I said earlier, every year our property taxes go up pretty much, and that's kind of what happens. So as that occurs, that additional revenue goes into the tip. Am I right?
Not all entirely, no, because our 19th Vincennes, we collect more than the 20,000 we collect a year. It's based on new investment. So it's a new tax that didn't exist before. The regular increase is because the city requests 4.9% every year.
Yes.
That's your increase.
Right.
Everybody's asking for this 4.9%. The only way it's just gonna get more than nothing is if someone builds something that didn't exist before. So if they can allow 123 Western, let's say the tax bill 10,000, now it's 100,000. So now that 10,000 is still gonna go to who was getting the 10,000 before, but then 90,000 is gonna be projected. It's
I did not understand that. Okay,
I'm very generally speaking, but that's generally how it works.
okay.
Alderman.
And this would help businesses on Western
This is, well, yes, I got a call from the owner of 123rd Western asking if this was gonna happen, because they'd like to finally develop that lot. And this was, people always ask, is there a tip so we can work out economic development? I said, we're working on it. But yes, generally, Old Western, it's gonna plug, for economic development. It's always looked on favorably for people wanting to open up businesses.
Well, based on what you just explained, which is something I didn't understand, if you want to withdraw my motion, or we could move to end the table if you want.
All right, we'll still, well, it was 3 and 3. I was leaning on not ruining the timeline, so I was gonna run a roll call anyway.
Okay.
Since this is possibly revenue generating, it's only 4 votes needed, but if you're withdrawing it, then we can go back to the motion. But it's been going on for, I think, 2 years, if it's on.
Okay, no, that's okay. Yeah, thank you.
It's definitely been gone through the whole hoops and whistles meeting. So if that's the case.
Page 20 and 29 of the plan as well, talks about the impact on the school. Page 28 and 29 of the report discusses the impact on the elementary schools and the high school districts and the plans that are in place if they are impacted.
Yeah, I did, that was probably primarily the reason I brought this up was because it does do that, but it doesn't project the revenue, make the revenue projections I'm asking for, but I don't know, given the way Mary's explained it, I don't know, but it's on the way to go.
I don't think any company would provide projections because they'd be basing on. Let's hope one person builds a building a year on one side. They'd have to put some kind of formula in.
Yeah, okay.
All right, so if you're withdrawing, going back to, we have a motion and a second to approve. Only we're on the first one.
Motion was by Alderman Montoya, second by Alderman Carr.
Okay, so the motion and a second.
Roll call.
Alderman Carr.
Aye.
Alderman Johnson.
Aye.
Alderman Montoya.
Aye.
Alderman Rita.
Aye.
Alderman Fairwell.
Aye.
Alderman McGee.
An ordinance of the City of Blue Island, Illinois designated the Western Avenue redevelopment plan pursuant to tax increment allocation redevelopment. Is there a motion? Motion, Alderman McGee, second. Alderman Montoya on the question. Clerk, please do the roll call.
Alderman Carr.
Aye.
Alderman Johnson.
Aye.
Alderman Montoya.
Aye.
Alderman Rita. Aye. Alderman Fairwell.
Aye.
Alderman McGee.
Aye. Carries. Under G, an ordinance for the City of Blue Island, Illinois, adopting tax increment allocation financing for West Avenue redevelopment project here. Motion. Alderman Johnson, second by Alderman Carr. Question. Clerk, please do the roll call.
Alderman Carr.
Aye.
Alderman Johnson.
Aye.
Alderman Montoya. Alderman Rita. Aye. Alderman Fairwell.
Aye.
Alderman McGee.
Carries. Under H, and just to follow up, in the map here on page 15, you can see this large gray section, Alderman, on the far right, that's tip 4. That tip, which is huge, it's the biggest one land valley, it's been around for probably expiring soon. But it only generates 10, 20,000 a year. For years, it's only generating. Under H, with an ordinance authorizing the execution and delivery of a promissory note in connection with municipal acquisition of vehicles for the city of Blue Island. This is the lift that.
Yes, we.
The motion. Alderman Fairwell is a second. Agreed on the question. Clerk, please roll this. It's for the lift truck of all works, boom truck. Oh, okay.
Alderman Carr.
Aye.
Alderman Johnson.
Aye.
Alderman Montoya. Alderman Rita.
Aye.
Alderman Fairwell.
Aye.
Alderman McGee.
Carries. Under I, next few come out of planning and zoning. Under I, the ordinance for the city of Blue Island, Cook County, Illinois, granting a special use permit to Blue Island Auto Parts Incorporated to operate an auto recycling use within an industrial to general industry district located 155-45 Sacramento Ave. Is there a motion? Fairwell is second. Johnson on the question. Alderman Johnson.
Yes, do they happen to have a business hours, for that business?
Is the owner in the audience?
Yes.
Want to answer just that question?
Yes, 8 until 5. Sundays are off. Every day, 8 to 5, Monday through Saturday. And then Sundays are off.
Create any undue stress or inconvenience to the neighboring property.
It's been operating for 30 some years. I think planning and zoning vetted that, noise level, all that stuff's inside that. They work. Any other questions? Clerk, please do the roll call.
Alderman Carr.
Aye.
Alderman Johnson.
Aye.
Alderman Montoya. Alderman Rita.
Aye.
Alderman Fairwell.
Aye.
Alderman McGee.
Carries. Under J, an ordinance of the city of Blue Island, Cook County, Illinois, approving a variance for the property located at 2101 120th Street. Is there a motion? Agree, as a second. Alderman McGee on the question. Alderman Fairwell.
I'm sorry, is this fence?
It is the white fence.
Yeah, okay, I am gonna vote for this, but I would like to ask something, and explain my concern about this fence. I had been involved in the process to try to develop some objective standards for the approval of fences. And I was disappointed that they learned that they were, that the PDCA elected not to adopt those standards. And I would like to say I have a lot of respect for the PBZA and the members on it, and I would like to think they had good reasons, but, so from everything I know, I do disagree with that decision. And in this particular case, those standards would not have prohibited these owners from having this fence. I understand that there's a hardship there and why they need it. But it would have not permitted the fence that they want to build. Because there's a point system under this proposed system that would give points for fences that meet certain standards and lose points. So this is a 6-foot wide vinyl fence that's right in the vertical. The point system would allow it, I don't know for sure, but would be much more likely to allow it if the fence would move back a little bit. If it was not white, if it was a different material, if it was not completely opaque. And under those circumstances, the owner could have had a privacy fence, but one that would be much more attractive. And I personally, it's my opinion, but a white 6-foot vinyl fence will not look good several years from now. That's, one of the things that I was seeking. I've had this in my ward. I've seen it come and, I see fences go up because there's no rules, and I understand why people want privacy fences. But there are ways to manage this much better. So, one way of saying, I would appreciate it if at the next committee of the whole, we could bring this direct to city council and consider whether we want to approve these measures. Because we have the authority to do that.
I think, we mentioned this before, and we should work on it with Rick.
Yeah, we have one. I mean, we have one. We can always make it or whatever.
We just do it at committee of the whole when these come up. We do it in here, right?
Yeah, I mean, I just want to, it's a standard and we can look at it and it's not objective. It's like it either meets the standard or it doesn't. It's pretty simple.
Rita?
With all due respect, Alderman Fairwell, I do understand your concerns, but on the other hand, the resident did go through the proper,
I understand.
process, and also he was having, or the resident was also having a problem, and that's why he came to us, or went to the zoning and went to us.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm sure he probably would not, or I'm sorry, the resident would not want to invest more money than necessary. So he's,
And that's why I'm voting
Again.
for it. I'm voting in favor of it because I understand the circumstance, but I would like in the future for us to have this mechanism available to us so that we can make, I think, a better decision.
Questions?
Just a quick, if we could also, at the committee of the whole, find out why the PCB,
Yes, that would be good. I'd like to know that too. Yeah.
All right. Roll call.
Alderman Carr,
Oh, I'm sorry. Aye.
Alderman Johnson,
Aye.
Alderman Montoya.
Aye.
Alderman Rita. Aye. Alderman Fairwell.
Aye.
Alderman McGee.
Aye. Carries. Under K is, building that donut hole, C vehicles, so it's ordinance, City of Blue County, Illinois, authorizing fee for deals registration of motor vehicles with C truck plates, which is missing out of previous work. Your motion, Alderman Johnson, is there a second? Alderman McGee on the question. Clerk, please do the roll call.
Alderman Carr,
Aye.
Alderman Johnson.
Aye.
Alderman Montoya.
Aye.
Alderman Rita.
Aye.
Alderman Fairwell.
Aye.
Alderman McGee.
Carries. Under L, we have motion for retroactive approval of the lowest bidder, Pro Fence 2, for the fence installation at and around Vermont Street, Rock Island Fence Station. Motion. Alderman Rita, is there a second? Alderman Carr, question? Clerk, please do the roll call.
Alderman Carr,
Aye.
Alderman Johnson.
Aye.
Alderman Montoya.
Aye.
Alderman Rita. Aye. Alderman Fairwell.
Aye.
Alderman McGee.
Carries. Here we go. For the sound. What they want to do, Mark? For 1859? Here we go. Yes, yeah, we did. All right, for under M, motion to award bid for the sale of property located 1859 Borough to Price I. Zacharias. Is there a motion? Motion for Alderman Montoya, second for Alderman Rita on the question. Alderman McGee.
So maybe just to confirm, what was the enrollment for sale?
Do you remember that?
I believe it was 2,000.
Any proposal to do it again?
Storage and.
So, the proposed usage was first floor, public storage and residential on the second floor. So apartments, basically.
But a mixed use building.
Yeah. So the gentleman was referred by, the folks who are currently in the operators of Money Drop Forge. So we came with at least some, relationships and we know somebody who knows them. But yeah, commercial storage, first floor, residential, second floor.
Alderman Johnson, question.
Are they asking for some kind of tax increment or something?
Probably, actually.
As we stand here today, no, it's just, right now, it's just trying to get ownership of the building. And I'm not sure if I'm familiar with the condition of the building, but if you've seen the show The Walking Dead, it kind of resembles that. So it's going to require them to put a lot of work, a lot of money into the building at that speed, which is beneficial for them.
As alderman for the third ward, although I do not know a lot about, this particular individual, I know that this has been an eyesore for a very long time. And we've had to maintain the property, the windows are broken out, it's just been one thing after another there, so I'm thinking that hopefully this would be a positive and would add to the neighborhood, so.
Alderman Montoya.
Is that parking lot attached to that?
Oh, yeah, that's.
The one west is not. Next to the train station is not. The one east is. Okay.
So that would help with parking for the, renters.
Yes.
It's on two separate things.
Yeah. Actually, four. It's two separate buildings plus the parking lots.
We haven't been collecting property tax on this building since 2018, 2019. Approximately right now, on average, it's about $65,000 property taxes a year that we've been losing for this 5 years.
It's like James Street, which we're gonna have to deal with next to the hall. We're gonna, if this what the fires go through, we're going to knock it down.
Right, James Street is really bad.
It's bad, yeah. And we're getting bids right now. All right, any other questions?
One more question. Are they paying tax? Are we verifying that they have funds to complete those transactions?
This will all be vetted out through the attorney and make sure that it meets zoning codes as well. That's one of the requirements when they purchase the property. And they have to start pulling permits within 6 months. And start working with them too. So.
And just a reminder, this is the first one, and in the past, we always come back to council when everything's vetted and finalized, closed.
To approve the purchase sales agreement.
It's just a wording of it. All right, any other questions? All right, clerk, please do the roll call.
Alderman Carr.
Aye.
Alderman Johnson.
Aye.
Alderman Montoya.
Aye.
Alderman Rita.
Aye.
Alderman Fairwell.
Aye.
Alderman McGee.
Motion carries. Under N, resolution, City of Blue Island, Illinois, to authorize and approve a deed of legal foreclosure for the property located at 2930 Edison. Alderman Rita, second. Alderman McGee on the question. Clerk, please do the roll call.
Alderman Carr.
Aye.
Alderman Johnson.
Aye.
Alderman Montoya.
Aye.
Alderman Rita.
Aye.
Alderman Fairwell.
Aye.
Alderman McGee.
There it is. Mayor's comments, Old Western picked up again with the new light fixtures going in today. I believe phase 1.5, a lot of questions were answered regarding sewers. That work will be starting soon. Our sewers actually came back really well in that section, which is good. There's still we're doing all the televising for our sewers throughout the system. So we should be getting final information on that soon. This year's street bid, I think, starting in mid-June is where I heard last week. Prior, they're going to start with the sewer work that needs to be done first. And alleys, I think, have a few more left to finish for the season. I think a couple more weeks left. Right, Mike? Yes. We had a lot of rain over the past week or so. I did travel the city. I ran to Alderman McGee out there, 119th place. Actually, considering we have no sewers in our alleys, most are draining pretty well. There's a couple of balls out there that are gonna be reevaluated by our engineer. So if you have any issues like that, where the water's standing an extended period of time, please contact me. Today. All right, any other questions from the Alderman? With that, I have to control. City clerk's not here tonight, city treasurer.
Just one item on tonight's agenda, Mayor, if I can just get a motion to approve the monthly treasurer's report ending April 30th, 2021.
All the readers, second. All in favor? Any opposed? Carries. Everybody, yeah, all right, they turn on executive.
Right.
City administration.
Okay. Couple quick items, first quarter, revenue and expenditure report was handed out to you tonight. I am gonna reference that here. Okay, so that's a revenue and expenditure report for the quarter. It is gonna play a little bit into what I want to talk about tonight. And then if the city clerk was here tonight, she would be telling you that city stickers are now officially on sale. We went live on the web today and posted it online. And you can go to the city clerk's office. We are going to be implementing some new aspects of it, such as the home health care, be they family or private home health care. So it's like any new thing, could have some wrinkles. So just ask for a lot of communication if you're getting information from your residents about city stickers, but spread the word far and wide. At June 30th, everyone's going to have a new city sticker. So with that in mind, so I think everyone knows Mike Powers, is our golf course supervisor. So as we had talked about earlier in this year, one of the things we want to start doing is bringing individual department heads into council meetings to talk more about what's going on in their departments. And so, for instance, next month we'll be planning on having the police department come in. So if you have any things you'd like to hear folks from the police department next month, please just, email myself, email Chief Barr, but they'll be giving a presentation next month. Really, it's just to give you an overview and a snapshot of what's going on with the department, where they're at, where they're headed. So I wanted to start with the golf course because it's been a topic of a lot of discussion in this council chambers for the past couple of years. And we hired a new manager. I think probably the most experienced manager we've had at the course in terms of, having a recreation management degree. And so we're looking to kind of what the next few years of the golf course are going to look at like. But to get there, I want to just do a little bit of discussion of sort of what the city's investment and relationship with the golf course has been, so up here is the database that Alderman Roll has been working on. And these charts here are specific to the golf course finances. And so if you look at the line graph in the top right corner here, what you'd see what I would best describe as a fairly erratic approach to planning and spending, right? Because you see your expenditures and your revenues are pretty much all over the place. All right, so it doesn't look like there's a lot of year-to-year sort of thought at the administrative level as to what we're going to do with this course. And there's a lot of reasons for that. We've talked about this, right? We have police departments, public works, etc. But what you see here, if you look at a lot of our other departments, you won't see this level of erratic spending that shows. Now, what you see over the past couple of years is that we're starting to stabilize that a little bit. We are seeing some consistent revenue increase, but we're also seeing consistent spending increase because we've been investing more. We obviously, as everyone knows, inherited a lot of necessary investment. We also have a lot of equipment needs there. So I just wanted to give us a little snapshot on that. And then I'm going to have Mike just kind of talk about kind of what he's inherited and what he's going to be trying to do moving forward. I would just say one administrative highlight that I think is very important is one of the challenges that was put to us is that because it's not a necessary expenditure in the same way a police department is, that the liabilities were an issue, right? So we were able to get IPMG to give us a full liability coverage, which I think makes everybody a little easier with this. But what we do have is, like I said, there's going to be some expenditure increases, and just to be very blunt about it, we're probably going to wind up in machinery going over line item this year. We'll be able to keep the overall department appropriation intact, but we're going to go into the red on machinery because we've already had a spate of bad luck in the past as we opened the course. The ice machine went down, the golf picker went up. So rather than having rangers out, we have them out picking up balls and everything, stuff like that. So I'll let Mike kind of tell you what's going on in his department, but that's just kind of my intro. And that this is, and I very much welcome feedback on how we structure these things moving forward. But I just wanted to get kicked off and start bringing department heads in and having these discussions.
Thank you, Mr. Logan. Your Honor, City Council, thank you very much for allowing me to speak tonight. For the record, my name is Michael Powers. I'm the Director of Golf at the Meadows Golf Course. I'm a proud citizen of Blue Island. A couple of things. When I filled these shoes approximately a year ago, I realized that a lot of our golfers, the first time they have any experience with Blue Island at all is when they come to the Meadows Golf Course. So it was very important to me to make sure that our image or our appearance was top notch, because for a lot of people, when they come to the golf course, that appearance of the golf course is what their appearance or their image is of the city of Blue Island. So we tried to create an image that reflects the city of Blue Island in a positive light. And a couple of things that I thought were important for the golf course was one, creating a philosophy that I felt was important. And instead of a philosophy, I think I came up with a statement. The statement was, I want us to be a country club. And the reason why I felt that was important, because up until this point, the golf course had a municipal golf course, was labeled as a municipal golf course, and that was more of a negative stigma. And I really wanted to get away from that. And I felt like telling my employees, instilling it in them and myself that we are a country club really raises the bar of our expectations and what we're displaying to our customers. So for our employees, I expected greater accountability for our employees. I told them you need to dress for the job. You need to provide exceptional customer service to all of our guests that visit the Meadows. And I think that has gone over very well. Appearance was very important to me. Appearance at the golf course, inside the clubhouse, the bathrooms, the parking lot, the course itself. I've instilled in my employees, you see a piece of garbage, you pick up that garbage. This was very important because this was leading me on to the next thing. And eventually down the road, I felt like for us to really start being profitable, we're going to have to raise prices. We're going to have to really evaluate. I already knew what the area, our big four golf courses were charging. That is Silver Lakes, Water's Edge, George Dunn, and Harborside. I knew where they were at. I knew we had room to grow, but before we raised prices, we really needed to provide an exceptional service that we wouldn't get much pushback when we raised prices. So the appearance at the Meadows, for many people who golf, they expect a golf course, or they expect a golf cart that is clean, it's dirty free, it's ready to go, it's in great condition. They expect a bathroom that is very clean, and they expect the grounds to be impeccable. And I think we've done a great job. All our employees, I stress teamwork. We are all trained to multitask, because in this operation or in this business, different aspects become busier at different times. So sometimes in the clubhouse, we're very busy. We need people to help out. Sometimes on the range, when things are very busy, we need rangers to actually, jump in the picker or help, retrieve the balls. Whatever the situation is, I've instilled that this is a team. We need to operate and work together if we're going to be successful. And I want to say it has worked very well. Also, too, I felt the appearance and the image of the Meadows was very important. And it is shown because we went from 9 leagues to 11 leagues this past year. Our women's league on Wednesday went from 60 members to 110 members. It is by far, I do not know of another golf course on the south side of Chicago that has a bigger women's league than ours. And if you ever get a chance, come out on Wednesday night. Most of these women are from Blue Island, and majority of the golfers on Wednesday have roots one way or another from Blue Island. So I'm proud of what we've put together, and I think that's important moving forward. And the appearance was important to me in the image because we did evaluate our big four golf courses, and we said, hey, we have room to grow. If we're going to be profitable, we got to start raising rates. And we did raise rates. Our leagues went up. Our daily rates went up, our weekend rates went up, and for the most part, we have not received much pushback, to be quite honest with you. And I think that is because we provided exceptional service, and I think it's been going really well. A couple of things about the golf operations we evaluated was we eliminated the 9-hole rate. A lot of people want to play 18 holes, very few people want to play 9 holes. By eliminating the 9-hole rate, we just opened up the door for more people who want to play 18 holes instead of 9 holes. We extended our weekend instead of Saturday and Sunday. We included Friday as a weekend rate. So Fridays now are part of our weekend rate. And obviously, if you play on Friday, it's like playing on Saturday and Sunday. So we increased our revenue on the weekends. We went to prepaid tee times, which up until now, the Meadows did not do that. And what would happen is if someone would book a tee time on the weekend and they didn't show up, they had no skin in the game. We lost out, but they didn't. So we started instilling prepaid tee times, which is increased revenue dramatically. Yesterday alone, we had 171 prepaid tee times. I find that to be phenomenal compared to where we were just a year ago. A couple things we did too is we eliminated several golf outings. If a golf outing was not profitable to us, we eliminated it. And we raised the rates on golf outings. Once again, we evaluated what other golf courses were doing, and we said, hey, we're drastically lower. We need to start moving in that direction. And once again, when you have a greater image, you have a clean facility, people buy into it, and we really haven't had much pushback. We've adjusted the outings to benefit us. In other words, instead of 12 o'clock tee times or 12 o'clock outings where the golf course is shut down all day, we moved them to 9 a.m. in the morning. So by 2 o'clock, the golf course is back open so we can maximize our profits. We changed the layout of the golf course. If you're familiar with the Meadows, we went from the back 9, we made that hole number 1. And the reason being, and it's become very, was considered a great move by a lot of the golfers there, is because the Meadows used to start off with a blind hole. That means the whole dog leg to the right, you could not see when the golfers had moved on to the green. So it created a huge backup. By just doing something little like that, we've increased the speed of play. More golfers can now golf, and we've stopped the backups. One of the worst things that golfers hate is being backed up on the golf course. So that has helped us out dramatically. A couple of things I just want to say. I mean, the golf course is an incredible golf course, but I think to me, it's more than just a golf course. It's a nature preserve. It's a recreational, it's a great recreational area. I don't know of a place in Blue Island where you could see deer, ducks, geese, turkey vultures, possums, snakes. We have, there's just so much wildlife that, it's just really a great place to come out. For the future, I'd really love to see us utilize it more. I mean, I believe we have $1 million sunset view. Many of our golfers take selfies in front of the viewpoint, in front of the, in front of the sunset. And the only thing I would like to see is more residents in Blue Island enjoy the golf course. The problem is a lot of people think, well, I have to be a golfer to enjoy the golf course. I think we really need to consider other opportunities moving down the road. We have to look at winter activities, which could be another stream of revenue. There's things we can do for people who love to walk their dogs. There's areas in the fall, the winter, the spring that we could utilize it. There's just so much more we can do with the golf course. And I really think we need to start looking in that route or go in that direction if we're looking to increase revenues. Thank you very much. Anyone have any questions?
Questions for Mr. Powers?
So I love everything that you've said pretty much. I do think we need to start using the facility year round. Very interesting how you start on the back, you work your way forward. Do the carts still cross?
Well, they have to cross 123rd, but the unique thing about switching the golf course around is now your front 9 is played north of 123rd. So in the fall, or when it gets dark early, we could actually block off the back 9 and keep everybody on the front 9. And I think that's extremely important from an operational standpoint. Yes, sir.
Yes, Mr. Powers, how was the revenue increase as far as from the past, before you took over to now?
Well, I can't answer that question personally, but I can confidently tell you, I know that the revenue that we're bringing in has got to be superior than what has been done in the past. Our tea sheets are full, our prepaid tea times this past year now, like I said before, we didn't have prepaid tea times, so people have to pay before they go out. So our Saturdays and Sundays are doing very well. I raised the rates on all the league members. And all our leagues, every single one of our leagues has flourished. You are looking at approximately 200 golfers each day, Monday through Thursday. We have leagues Monday through Friday. So I'm confident, I know the revenue has increased dramatically.
No, the only, Mike took over in July, so it hasn't been a year. It hasn't been 1 year.
No, it hasn't been a year.
But ideally, once you finish this year, compared to the year before last, so you got a full picture. So you take over
And the other things, I've seen, also, Chief, with some just like low hanging fruit, small things that was included inside the clubhouse that made it more of a clubhouse than somebody's unfinished garage. Understanding that he had to take over this situation, but it wasn't money invested in it before, you know, and they really wasn't making money, but we would study putting money in. It's also, things that help bring up the value in the homes of, you know, that surround the golf course as well. So, and like I said, I don't golf, you know, I smoke cigars and I sit there and enjoy the view and watch, you know, the other golfers enjoy themselves and things of that nature. But I think from visiting the other golf courses around in the other areas, their clubhouses actually are a little better than ours. Just to, you know, be real about it. But the thing is that the personal care or that they give us as an individual when we go to the golf course, I think is more superior than those snooty other golf courses. They have excellent food there, like the Polishes and the hot links and a nice cold beer and watch a game. So it's different things that you could do. But I think we need to start looking at how can we increase revenue in off-season and things of that nature.
I saw Alderman, Treasurer Proud still has a comment, and Alderman Rita, then Alderman Lee.
Yeah, I don't have any questions tonight. I just wanted to say I appreciate what you're doing and keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Alderman Rita.
Well, I do know that since I've been elected, which has been a million years, as you guys know, that when I first was in office, that it was completely losing. And we've slowly started to get the positive. And we have slowly, there was a lot of work that needed to be done. Besides the clubhouse, there was problems with we had to build a levee, right? There was some flooding, there were problems there, and it slowly has become a positive, so I would like to say thank you.
You're welcome. I will encourage any of you to come out and visit us, especially Wednesday night is an incredible night. Every Wednesday night, I'm just amazed to see 100+ women. We also have a men's league. The place is packed, but you see a lot of people enjoying themselves and creating a positive atmosphere. No one ever wants to go home. And that's a big benefit and plus to the golf course and to the city.
Okay, so just a couple little comments. Possible suggestion. The getting rid of the 9 holes, I would actually like to see whether or not that's profitable for us or not. You know, so there's sometimes I just want to go and get a short game. But, you know, again, not everybody wants to do the whole 18. But I'd be interested in seeing how, you know, how that projects as far as revenue. And then that you're right about that first hole. That first hole is horrendous. I mean, you didn't even know which way to go. So And then since you kind of created this motto, country club motto, possibly looking into, yearly memberships as, you know, for residents of Blue Island or.
Yeah, definitely open to suggestions. There's no doubt about it. But I can tell you this right now, our leagues have flourished. My biggest fear with offering memberships is telling a member, you can't golf Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, or Friday night. That's been my biggest fear. In other words, if we sold a membership, you would be limited in the time that you could actually golf at the Meadows.
Yeah, the logistics probably have to be worked out or something, but I mean.
Correct.
It could be an additional source of revenue.
Definitely.
Alderman Rita and Alderman Carroll.
In the past, when we used to have the state municipal services committee, we would get expenditure, reports, expenditure revenue reports, on a monthly basis. Maybe we can go back to that at, committee of the whole. Or even if it's every other month, just to see where we're at and how we're.
Sounds right. Totally agree.
Okay.
Couple of things. Number one, Mike, thank you so much for the presentation and the hard work you've done and the projects we've made. It's not any secret that I've been a bit of a skeptic about the golf course over time. I'm much less of a skeptic now, thanks in part to the work you've done. I want to definitely recognize Administrator Wogan and John Schroll for the fact that we now have liability insurance, which is a big concern of mine. I appreciate that very much. And also this tool that we're looking at tonight. And Nancy, you know, I've really been enjoying this thing, that we have this information up here in front of us in a snapshot is just a difference of night and day over the information that we haven't had in the past. And maybe if we had this information a few years ago, it wouldn't have been so good for the golf course. It doesn't look so good then, but it looks better now. And just to note that at a click of a button, you can drill down into so many city departments, and it's actually almost overwhelming. But it's, if you want to know something, you can go find it. It's very useful. So that's a little bit of a tangential remark, but anyway, thank you for your presentation.
Thank you very much.
Mike, you had mentioned about the new gates. I know the Alderman asked last year, we took over about securing this place.
Well, that could be that was important to me, getting the parking lots fixed. Once again, it creates this appearance. You know, we're spending money at the golf course. A lot of our golfers enjoy that, and they're proud to be a part of the Meadows or participate or golf at the Meadows. The gates was extremely important, and we can have a side conversation. I know there's a tour bus that comes in every Sunday night that we found out at 7 o'clock. It's a bus stop for somebody. You know, things were getting out of hand as far as our lot was being used just as much when we were closed as it was when we were open. So the gates were very important, and it actually had worked wonders already. You know, coming there at 5:30 in the morning, no one in what someone would be doing in the lot at that time, and people would park their cars there and leave them there. So I really think the gates was a huge asset. And for safety, there's no doubt. So thank you very much.
If there's any other questions? No, thank you, Mr. Powers.
Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
City administration, anything else? No. Okay, we have no executive tonight. We will probably the next one.
Yeah.
We get a motion to adjourn.